Hello, welcome to another episode of Taste of Grace. As you can see, we're in a different kitchen and also having some technical difficulties. So, this is what we're doing today. I think it will still be helpful and educational and maybe help you maybe work on some of your cooking skills. Oh no, is that on automatic? That did a weird thing. Anyways, moving on. Today, we're going to making antipasto salad, which is like pasta salad but without the pasta. Now, why would we want to make pasta salad without the pasta? Well, because we're going to be eating it with pizza. So, I'm going to start going over our ingredients first. So, I have a jar of banana peppers that are pre-pickled, and then these are from one of our friend's gardens. So, they interestingly enough smell the same, but obviously have a different flavor. And so these guys are why we're making this, because I'm like, what do you do with a banana pepper? I don't know. And so, in addition to that, we got these tomatoes, and they're from the garden. I think that one definitely got a bug in it. I'm not sure what we're going to find when we start slicing into these. You can see we've got some rough spots. And so, in ratio to the banana peppers, I thought I needed more than just those three. So we've also got some cherry tomatoes. These are just from the store. And some of them are also looking a little sad. I'm not sure. It doesn't seem to be too late in tomato season, but maybe it is. I don't know. And then I'm going to be using green olives, but the recipe that I am basing this off of calls for green and black. I hate black olives, so we're not doing that. But you can do whatever you want. It also called for salami. I just couldn't do the salami, and so I have 25% less fat pepperoni. Interestingly enough, this has fewer calories and higher protein than the regular original pepperonis. Again, whatever. I've seen recipes with pastrami and all kinds of stuff. Um, I went to United, so I did not have a large cheese selection. I really would typically not put this in a pasta salad. Let me see. Where's my? I'm gonna mispronounce this name of this cheese anyways, but maybe it's close enough that you could find it if you wanted to use it in yours. And so the one of the recipes, well, actually, a lot of the recipes I looked at were using manchego, manchego. I'm not saying that correctly, but there you go. And I've had it before, and it's delicious, and that's what I was looking for. The store didn't have it, so we're just doing feta today. And then any sort of vinegar. Now, if you were gonna do like a sliced banana pepper, you might get away with just using the vinegar brine from the peppers, but it's gonna be, I mean, that's what it's gonna taste like. So you do want to have some variation in your flavors, right? So I'm going to use a red wine. You could use a white wine vinegar. Play around with it. And then olive oil. I don't care what kind you use. This is just extra virgin olive oil, and it's in a handy dandy. Let me show you. I think I've shown this to y'all before, but when you squeeze the sides here, it pushes olive oil into the top, and it's pretty much my favorite kitchen gadget ever. Okay, then for seasonings, we're gonna just do some Italian, like regular old whatever. But you could absolutely get fresh herbs and use those in this recipe if you wanted to be super extra. I really thought this would have all of the. Oh, here we go. So this one has marjoram, basil, rosemary, thyme, oregano, savory, and sage. And then I know this is a sin, but I thought I had garlic paste. I knew I was out of fresh garlic, but I thought I had garlic paste in the fridge. I don't. It's ginger. So we're using granulated garlic. So sorry. And then basically you're going to salt and pepper to flavor, to taste. And you could use black pepper, but I'm a red pepper gal. So that's what we're doing today. All right, so you're also going to want to make sure you have a glass bowl that will, fit all of your ingredients, give you some mixing room. I've got a whisk here to kind of help whisk in all of these ingredients. A spoon, just regular serving spoon. And then instead of using a giant kitchen knife today, I'm just using a utility knife. You know it's Pampered Chef. And we're going to go ahead and start slicing into these tomatoes. So this will be interesting because I have a feeling we're going to not be, I mean, I don't necessarily want to put that in a pasta salad. So these came off the vine like about a week ago, and they were sitting on the counter for a while. Ooh, that part feels a little funny. I'm going to take a little bit off the edge there. And so I really didn't want to put them in the fridge, but they got to a point where I was like, I don't know about this. So I put them in the fridge, and now I kind of wish I hadn't done that. But I'm going to taste this real quick. I think it's going to work. When I pulled them out of the fridge earlier, they were not feeling so good. I was like, oh no. But they're doing okay now. I let them sit out. I mean, it's been hours since I pulled them out of the fridge and have let them sit and acclimate to room temperature. Now, with the pasta salad, if you're going to do a cherry tomato, it's a lot easier to do this. So if you are trying to use a bigger tomato, you want to make sure you're cutting along the fleshy, like vein parts, and not, just slicing and stuff, because you're going to lose a lot of the seeds and juices just to open air and on your chopping board instead of it holding that inside. This one's even more worrisome than the last one. Oh, I don't want that. Okay, let me here. I'm gonna taste this. Isn't it terrifying to just be putting tomato in your mouth and you don't know what it tastes like? I think that one's too far gone. Let's see what happened to this guy. I mean, that's brutal. Didn't go too deep though, so that's good. I'm just cutting off all the stem was. This one was my favorite tomato because it was the biggest, and it had the biggest hole too, so I was a little nervous, but seems to be holding up pretty well. These are obviously going to be larger pieces than like half a cherry tomato, but it's holding together okay. I'm just going to leave them in those larger chunks. We moved. Part of the reason the setup is this way is because we moved. And so I haven't quite got a compost going, but I think by fall, I will have a place to put all of this stuff. I'm just going to scoop it onto the lid and then go ahead and clear this since we're going to keep going here. Bear, do you like tomatoes? Oh my gosh, you swallowed that whole. I hope dogs can eat tomatoes. Did I just poison my dog? I don't know. Okay. So I'm going to pull some of these out. There's cool ways of, using 2 flat surfaces to just cut a bunch of these at one time. But I'm having to kind of sort through these because I guess we're in off season. Was I too late to the store and everybody had gotten everything else? I don't know. See, that one's a little weird. And I don't think my knife is big enough for that. Okay. That's okay. So you can set it sort of down on where the stem is. There's a raised part of it, and then like the edges are sort of raised here, so it creates sort of like a stand, and then don't cut your fingies, but it's pretty stable for such a small piece of fruit because tomatoes are fruit. Tomatoes. I'm not sure where AntiPasto, and I'm saying this in such a, I mean, if you heard an Italian saying that, that's not what it would sound like at all. Kind of like the manchego cheese, and I know I'm not saying that correctly either. Oh, it's so little. It's hard to hold on to. Okay. Trash. And these are just gonna, ooh, you know what? To shake or to whisk? To shake or to whisk? I think I'm gonna shake. I'm gonna go ahead and dump these in here. You could go ahead and either in this bowl start the dressing that's gonna cover everything, or you could get a separate bowl and just sort of whisk things together. But I'm going to just put the lid on it and shake it later, so it doesn't really matter. Please note that I have already washed all of these veggies. I would highly recommend washing your veggies. I'm gonna bring this back over and kind of use it as a mini trash can. I don't want a bunch of seeds, and so I'll show you again on the next one, but I'm sort of cutting around the top of it. I'm not cutting all the way through. I'm just, until I can feel the knife sort of pierce the skin of the pepper, and then I'm pulling out as many as I can. You can see there's still a bunch of seeds in there. Is that better? There you go. And then I'm coming over to the side here and just sort of pushing them out the top. And so now there's no more seeds. I never thought to grow banana peppers in a personal garden. I've always done jalapenos, green bell peppers. I've never had success with colored bell peppers. Why are they harder than green bell peppers? I don't know. Maybe the bugs like them more because they're so pretty. But you can use banana peppers in a lot of stuff to give it a little bit of a, well, maybe I should try a non-juiced one. Let's see. Let's tear off a piece here. Oh, it just tastes like a pepper. That's a little disappointing, I'm not gonna lie. Okay. Just cutting these into sort of bite-sized pieces here. You can slice them any way you want to. And I would say it sort of depends on your audience who you're feeding. Do they like a lot of peppers? Do they not? Okay, and then I've got 2 of these left. Can I fit this spoon in here? No. Of course that didn't work. Okay, I'm gonna drain this at the sink real quick. There's one. There's 2. I'm going to dump a little bit of this in there because I know that those peppers did not have any brine on them. Okay. Those are like basically seedless. I don't know if I have a different... Oh, there's the seeds on that one. Well, that a lot easier. Interesting. Okay. Next, my husband does not like olives. Let me grab a spoon. So I'm just going to leave these whole, but that way it's easier for him to pick them out. But I would highly recommend slicing these, or I think you can even buy like pre-sliced olives. But I know he's not going to eat them, so I'm just going to put in what I would eat. Know your audience. Okay. Looking good so far, right? Very colorful. Oh my gosh. When did they make these childproof? I know this isn't because my hands are slippery. This is insane. What? This just goes to show you how often I eat pepperonis, right? Oh my gosh. Okay, how about some scissors? I'm just going to cut it right above where it seals. I don't think I'm going to have to reseal it anyways. Oh, I think they just had the tear piece too high. Oh, I broke it. And it's sealed down here. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna open this whole thing. I didn't think pepperoni would be so hard to open. My goodness. I'm just going to try and slice these in half so it's a little bit easier to eat. You could absolutely just throw these in there. Again, if you're doing like a cube salami or something, this part is basically irrelevant. I think that the pepperoni flavor is going to bring a nice zing to our unpickled, I guess it would be pickled brined. I don't know what the word is, because in my brain they're pickled, but maybe that's not the right word. For the banana peppers that were fresh. I'm not gonna lie, this is kind of gross. There's like a lot of fat there, and then I'm just gonna try and break it up a little bit as I'm dumping them in there, since I've now cut them in stacks. Oh, that is a giant piece of pepperoni. Huh. I've never seen that before. Formel, if you ever watch this, just know you should do some quality assurance check on your line there for pepperoni making. Okay, I'm gonna rinse my hands real quick because now they're covered in pepperoni. So this is a pretty quick one bowl dish. If you want it to be, you could also, again, like I said, use two different bowls, one to kind of make your dressing and then put on top. I just don't think it's going to make that big of a difference. Actually, I think I'm going to save the feta for last. Maybe even just add it in at the end because feta crumbles. Yeah, let's do that because feta will continue to crumble and I don't want it to be weird. I can get weird real fast. Okay. So let me adjust things real quick so you can see a little bit more easily what we're working with. Okay. Now I know that this recipe that I am basing it off of is not, they have like twice as much as hard ingredients, not recipe dressing ingredients, but just overall recipe ingredients than I'm using. Here's my half a cup. Here's my tablespoon. Actually, I went to half. I'm gonna grab a half tablespoon. So this, okay, the olive oil thing also has measurements. You can't really see that because of the glare, but there's some measurements there. So that's 3 teaspoons. And doesn't it do a nice drizzle? This is a half a tablespoon, and this sort of shoots out weird, like through a little hole. So there's a half a tablespoon. I don't think I'm actually going to do that. The other side, oh my gosh, it doesn't fit. How embarrassing. So there's a half tablespoon. Let's start with that, and then we'll, if I feel like I need to add more later, I can. Here's our garlic. I'm really just going to do like a quarter of a tablespoon. So I'm using the half, and then I'm just going to go kind of halfway up on this. Because it's okay to eyeball and season with love. And then lastly, just a shake of pepper and a drizzle. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and shake this, and then we'll add the feta. It's not so colorful anymore, is it? just because the tomatoes are red. Okay, so we've got, I'm going to use this regular spoon. Everything seems to be coated really nicely. We've got a lot of big chunks of pepperoni, which I think is going to fare pretty well considering it should have been chunked salami, and I didn't do that. I kind of wish I had some more tomatoes and banana peppers, but I think this will be okay since we're having a pizza. And then feta. If you wanted to, you could also add on like Parmesan or do like some shaved Parmesan. I think I actually was going to say it right, Parmesan. What a cute little container. This is basically meat and cheese now. It's no longer healthy. So appetizing, right? I think it's because of the red wine vinegar. It's leaving a little bit of a red stain, but there you go. There's my antipasta salad. Let's try it. I'm going to eat an olive with it. I'm actually not a big fan of the banana peppers. Let's see. Let me grab some pepperoni. Oh my gosh, I just want that one. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's it for today. Maybe next time you'll be able to see my face and we'll have all the cameras going. But I hope this was helpful and kind of showing you how to mix some ingredients together, slice tomatoes, and see you next time.